I've been a member of Wilshire for 6.5 years. And this place has sustained and grounded me since the day that I joined. Standing before you today to share this particular testimony is difficult and vulnerable for me. I've had a job continuously since my early teens and have always struggled with giving financially to the church. Of the spiritual disciplines, it is by far the most difficult for me. I grew up living below the poverty line in rural Oklahoma. My parents were teenagers when I was born, and while I don't have painful memories of not having what I needed, I know that we struggled. Nevertheless, my mother was and is a model of tithing to the church, regardless of her circumstances. And while I had such a great role model, I've still continually felt this sense of lack in my life. There are likely deep-seated psychological reasons why I struggle so profoundly with giving financially to the church and with holding so tightly to my own possessions. What I do know is that my paycheck has come from Baptist institutions for well over 35 years. And while my livelihood is funded in part due to the generosity and self-discipline of others, the fact that I have given all of my career to causes related to the church, and I frequently volunteer my time and my talent to the church, I continually ask myself, shouldn't that be enough? Prior to coming to Wilshire, I made a few feeble efforts to establish the habit of tithing, but I still struggled with inconsistency and, to be honest, resistance in my heart. A few years ago, during Wilshire's emphasis on giving, we were asked to sign commitment cards regarding our plans to give financially in the upcoming year. I clearly recall Molly Shepherd standing here and her leadership in that campaign. Her words, her actions, and her leadership had an impact on me, and is part of the reason that I was willing to share my journey with you today. If I can encourage one person to begin giving consistently to the unified budget, then my discomfort with talking to you about this will have been well worth it. I tend to be an all or nothing person. This thinking is part of what prevented me from creating the habit of tithing. Even though, as an experienced runner, I know that I don't run long distances or a really challenging course without making a commitment, a plan, and a way to start small and grow. And sometimes, even though I absolutely love running, I have to register for an event to keep myself motivated and to help me stretch myself. Those commitment cards helped me. They gave me a place to start, a sense of accountability, and what I needed to be able to stretch in my giving over time. So what's my why? Wilshire is a vital part of my life. Our shared commitment to missions and advocacy and the action that we take as a result of that commitment is what I think the church should be doing in the world. Our passion for an expression of faith through the arts draws me closer to Christ, and it fires my spiritual imagination. And if you've ever had a conversation with me about this place, you have likely heard me say, Wilshire isn't a perfect church, but it's the perfect church for me. And I feel that deeply, and now my actions match my words. I agree wholeheartedly with George's assessment that we only have the church we decide to have by our giving. To be standing before you sharing this journey is humbling. However, I know that if I can make this commitment and establish the discipline of stewardship in my life, you can too. And together, we can be the church that we want to be, and the church this community and this world so desperately needs us to be. I found my why. What's yours?